After months of silence, we finally have new updates and a first look at Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Sony just revealed at CinemaCon that this movie is going to completely change how you think about Miles Morales' final chapter. We're talking official first look footage, a confirmed release date that's closer than you might expect, new delay updates, and some absolutely mind-blowing plot details that hint at the most ambitious animated superhero film ever created. Let's start with the news that every Spider-Verse fan has been desperately waiting for. We finally have a concrete release date for Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, and it's June 25th, 2027. Now, before you start calculating how long that feels from now, understand that this date represents something much more significant than just another movie release. This is Sony Pictures committing to a specific timeline after years of uncertainty, production resets, and what can only be described as one of the most turbulent development cycles in recent animation history. Here's what makes this date particularly interesting. This movie was recently delayed again. Sony made a strategic decision to capture the maximum audience by ensuring that 100% of schools across the United States would be on summer break by the new release date, compared to only 65% on the original date. Let me know what you think about this. We'll come back to the massive implications of this release strategy. But first, let's dive into what actually happened at CinemaCon that has everyone talking. At CinemaCon 2025, producer Phil Lord and co-directors Bob Persichetti and Justin K. Thompson took the stage in Las Vegas to make what can only be described as the most important presentation in the Spider-Verse franchise's history. They didn't just show up with promises and vague updates. They brought actual footage from Beyond the Spider-Verse, marking the first time anyone outside the production team has seen material from this highly anticipated conclusion. The filmmaking team was remarkably candid about why this film has taken so long to complete. "We know how important this franchise is to so many people around us. We just could not run it back," they explained to the CinemaCon audience. Phil Lord made a bold promise that should get every fan excited. It's going to be a massive finale to the trilogy, coming from the creative mind behind both previous films. This isn't just marketing speak. This is a guarantee that everything we've seen so far has been building towards something unprecedented in scope and ambition. But what did that first look footage actually reveal? The footage shown at CinemaCon reveals that Miles Morales begins Beyond the Spider-Verse in the most precarious position we've ever seen him in. He's a fugitive on the run from every other Spider-Person across the entire multiverse. The emotional core of this conflict was captured in a single line from the footage. "Everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. I'm gonna do my own thing." Phil Lord teased additional plot details that should have fans theorizing for months. He hinted that Gwen and his other friends may or may not be enough to help him save the family that's been the leading part of the entire system. The deliberate ambiguity in that statement, "may or may not be enough," suggests that even Miles' closest allies might not be able to help him in this final confrontation. Understanding why Beyond the Spider-Verse has taken so long to reach theaters requires looking at the unprecedented challenges facing this production. Originally, Sony planned to release this film in March 2024, just 9 months after Across the Spider-Verse hit theaters. That timeline would have been ambitious for any major animated feature, but for a film attempting to conclude one of the most visually innovative trilogies ever created, it was practically impossible. The development process has been marked by what industry insiders describe as perfectionist tendencies from the creative team, particularly Phil Lord and Chris Miller. These aren't filmmakers who are content to simply deliver a satisfactory conclusion. They're determined to create something that pushes the boundaries of what animated cinema can achieve. Previous reports have detailed their process of pulling all-nighters to finalize the tiniest details, and that same obsessive attention to quality appears to be driving the extended production timeline for Beyond the Spider-Verse. The 2023 Hollywood strikes also significantly impacted the film's development. Voice recording sessions were delayed, which created a domino effect throughout the entire animation pipeline. Unlike live-action films, where actors' performances are captured in real time, animated features require voice work to be completed before animators can begin their detailed character work. This delay meant that entire sequences had to be rescheduled and replanned. But here's what's fascinating about these delays. They might actually result in a better film. The extra time has allowed the creative team to refine their vision, incorporate lessons learned from Across the Spider-Verse, and potentially develop new animation techniques that we haven't seen before. One of the most intriguing aspects of Beyond the Spider-Verse is how it plans to conclude a story that Across the Spider-Verse expanded to seemingly infinite proportions. The fact that Miles begins this film as a fugitive suggests that the resolution won't be simple or easy. We'll come back to the animation and technical aspects in a moment, but first, the voice actor who brings Miles Morales to life. In a recent interview at the Tribeca Film Festival, Moore let slip a detail that adds an entirely new dimension to what we can expect from Beyond the Spider-Verse. Moore revealed that he will be playing 3 different variants of Miles Morales in the upcoming film. This isn't just a matter of voice acting convenience. This suggests that the story of Beyond the Spider-Verse will explore multiple versions of Miles in ways that could fundamentally change how we understand his character and his place in the multiverse. Think about what this means from a storytelling perspective. If Miles is facing off against every other Spider-Person in the multiverse while simultaneously dealing with different versions of himself, the internal and external conflicts become exponentially more complex. Will these alternate Miles variants be allies, enemies, or something more complicated? The possibilities are endless, and each one opens up new avenues for character development and visual storytelling. Phil Lord and Chris Miller's involvement as writers, alongside David Callahan, also ensures that the story will maintain the perfect balance of humor, heart, and high-stakes action that has defined the series. These are creators who understand that the best superhero stories are fundamentally human stories, and that all the spectacular visuals in the world can't replace genuine emotional connection between characters and audience. While we haven't seen detailed footage beyond what was shown at CinemaCon, industry reports suggest that Beyond the Spider-Verse is pushing the animation team to develop new techniques that could set another industry standard. The challenge facing the animators is enormous. They need to create visuals that feel like a natural progression from across the Spider-Verse while also delivering something that feels fresh and innovative. Consider the technical complexity of what they're attempting. If Miles really is encountering 3 different versions of himself while being pursued by every Spider-Person in the multiverse, the film will need to juggle multiple art styles, character designs, and possibly even different animation techniques within the same scenes. This is the kind of ambition that could easily overwhelm a less experienced team, but the Spider-Verse crew has proven they can handle seemingly impossible technical challenges. The extended production timeline has also allowed the animation team to refine their tools and techniques. Technology in animation moves quickly, and the extra years between Across the Spider-Verse and Beyond the Spider-Verse mean that the team has access to more sophisticated software and rendering capabilities than they did when they started this trilogy. And yes, there's a twist coming you probably didn't expect. The strategic release date, summer 2027 and beyond. The decision to release Beyond the Spider-Verse on June 25, 2027, represents more than just a scheduling choice. It's a strategic positioning that could determine the film's cultural impact. By ensuring that all schools are on summer break, Sony is betting that this film will become a major cultural event that brings families together for a shared viewing experience. This timing also places Beyond the Spider-Verse in direct competition with other major summer blockbusters, suggesting that Sony has enormous confidence in the film's ability to compete with any other entertainment option available. Summer 2027 is still being mapped out by major studios, but early indications suggest it will be one of the most competitive summer seasons in recent memory. The international implications of this release strategy are also significant. The Spider-Verse films have performed exceptionally well in global markets, with Across the Spider-Verse earning more than $682 million worldwide. The summer release timing ensures maximum international exposure, potentially positioning Beyond the Spider-Verse to become one of the highest-grossing animated films of all time. But beyond box office considerations, this release strategy reflects Sony's understanding that Beyond the Spider-Verse represents something special in their catalog. This isn't just another animated sequel. This is the conclusion to a trilogy that has redefined what animated superhero films can achieve both artistically and commercially. The success or failure of Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse will have implications that extend far beyond the Spider-Verse franchise itself. As we head toward the June 25, 2027 release date, there are several things fans can expect from the promotional campaign and continued development of Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse. Based on the pattern established by the previous films, we can anticipate increasingly detailed trailers and promotional materials that reveal more about the plot while still maintaining key surprises. The next 2 years are going to be filled with amazing content, and you won't want to miss a single update, so subscribe.